Yeah.
It's 3.
Good. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday, March 17th meeting of the Appropriations Personnel Oversight Committee. Delegate Young, Chair, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. We have 3 bills to take up. I think for the first one, June, you were mentioning to everybody which one we're voting.
Yes.
Delegate Bandari's bill.
Yes. Well, do you want to do that first?
Why don't we go ahead and do that first?
Okay.
It wasn't on the agenda, but we have that one to add. Gotcha. So we just heard this one last week.
What's the number on that?
Yeah, June, I'm pulling up my notes now. If you could go ahead and go into it.
Sure. It's HB 913. Delegate Bandari was the sponsor. It's basically authorizing collective bargaining for faculty for the Baltimore County Community College. But I think at this point, because we're focusing on another bill, I think we wanted to vote on this one.
Got it.
I have a question. Why are we?
Since we're doing the big one, we're going to move unfavorable on this.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Move unfavorable.
Is there a second? All right. All in favor of the unfavorable motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to the unfavorable motion? Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay, so today we're taking up also HB 45, which is Baltimore County Public Library collective bargaining. Let's see. Sorry, do you have the amendments right in front of you?
I do. Did you?
If you wouldn't mind.
Go ahead.
If you wouldn't mind, go ahead for
Mr. Chairman?
HB
Okay.
45.
Just give me a second. Let me pull
Sure.
it. Oh, I have it. All right. So HB 45 is a local bill establishing collective bargaining for the Baltimore County Public Library. We heard it a while back. There are some amendments that I'm just going to read through. So Amendment 1 is technical. Amendment 2 defines confidential employee. Amendment 3 defines management and supervisory employees and clarifies that the bill does not apply to confidential management and supervisory employees. The amendment also establishes that a supervisory employee includes an employee who uses independent judgment in exercising authority to fulfill the employee's job duties. So basically, it's not just by definition alone. Amendment 4 establishes procedures for certification, the election of an exclusive representative, arbitration, and decertification. Excuse me, an employee organization must be certified under the bill in order to negotiate a collective bargaining agreement. Amendment 5 requires the employer to stop making payroll deductions if the exclusive representative resigns from membership in the employee organization. Amendment 6 is technical. Amendment 7 prohibits an employee organization from disciplining a member for retaliation and authorizes an employee who is represented by an employee organization to discuss any matter with the employer. The amendment also establishes the rights of the employer to determine and control its operations, among other things. An employee or an employee organization may not engage in, induce, initiate, direct, support, or ratify a strike. And an employer may also request a court to enjoin a strike. That's the amendments, Mr. Chairman.
Understood. Stand by. So on the amendments, motion on the amendments.
Motion the amendments.
Second.
All in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, on the bill as amended.
Move the bill as amended.
And just to clarify, this did pass out of the Baltimore County delegation. Is a local bill. On the bill as amended, there was a motion and a second. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, on discussion on the bill. Somebody had a question? Gotcha. No questions. All in favor of HB 45 as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
And I see I'm recording Delegate Beitzel, Delegate Kittleman, Delegate Greist, and Delegate McKay. Understood. Thank you, folks. Moving to HB 1277, we just heard this one. This was Delegate Shanika Henson's bill. Let me go. There is one technical amendment. Well, it's repealing a provision of the law that excludes attorneys in the office from certain grievance procedures in the state personnel management system. This was agreed upon apparently to the Senate. This is just from what I understand. June, is that accurate?
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat that question?
Sorry, the amendment conforms it. This was agreed upon by the advocates and the sponsor to the bill.
Yes, it was initiated by the sponsor, and basically it's just consistent with the intent of the bill to reclassify the attorneys in the Office of the Public Defender. So basically what it's doing is also allowing them access to the grievance procedures, which you would have access to in the personnel system, in the state personnel system.
And if for folks that don't remember from the other day we had this presentation, this isn't a collective bargaining bill. This is just about reclassifying and placing public defenders in the merit system.
Go ahead.
Yep. Got Delegate Kittleman.
Oh, I'm still not quite sure I understand the effect of it. You're placing people who were before not in the merit system?
That's correct. Folks that weren't part of the merit system before are now going to be covered by the merit system who were in the office.
Is that, you said that's giving rights? I don't know what that means. What changes for them?
Sure. Well, in terms of the process for which they can be raises, they can file grievances, and also just protection of their.
Trent, if I may, this is.
Go ahead, Delegate Rice.
I'm sorry. Thank you. My apologies. This is the bill where AFSCME came in, and then almost all the testimony in favor was from AFSCME. And do you remember that that AFSCME doesn't even represent these folks, and they're not even asking for them to move from at will to merit, yeah. And also too, I expressed the concern at that time where if we were to do that, I mean, these folks are literally on the front line. And oftentimes it is a political position. It can be a political position. And also too, we want to make sure that we have the best of the best, defending folks. And if we have to go through a 3-month to, potentially an 18-month during discipline process, then we're going to have some really bad attorneys, representing potentially innocent people, during that whole process. So, and as I don't know if you remember as well, the statistics just don't bear the need for this. The turnover rate's not as bad as what the unions are saying that it is. I think we're only talking, just a couple dozen people, I believe, who was actually terminated over a fairly long period of time. So this bill's not even necessary, So I obviously I'm voting against it for a lot of reasons.
It's just that it's sort of inaptly named the merit system.
Sure. So it's fine. We can do this back and forth, so we can move on to the bill. I'm going to ask for a motion on the amendments.
Move the amendments.
Second.
All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
What are the amendments
No,
doing?
I'm not.
Yes, I have my hand up, Mr. Chairman.
I see your hand up. I'm going to cut you. I'm assuming you want to have a conversation on the bill.
Yes.
Okay, got
Move
it.
the bill as amended.
Moving the bill as amendments. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Delegate Beitzel.
Yes. First is a question. What was the Office of Public Defenders or the public defenders in opposition to this bill?
I believe the HR folks came out, and I'm looking here through written testimony, but yeah, their HR folks came by and expressed one concern. And
if I remember right on the bill, they expressed even maybe public defenders themselves expressed the extreme opposition to this bill. So is that good?
I'd say that public defenders did go to the sponsor to bring the bill. So if there are some that also came out against it, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's a mix
Yeah,
of
the-
both, so.
I was gonna
Alright,
say
so-
I believe the only person that opposed it was the head of the public defender's office themselves. It wasn't
That's what it looked like.
final public defenders.
All right.
Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
I know we were having some discussion. Is there any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none on the bill as amended, all in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Any opposed?
No,
I'm recording Delegate Beitzel, Delegate Kittleman, Delegate Greist, and Delegate McKay in the negative. And with that, the motion and the bill passes. Folks, thanks again. That's all the business we have for us. And I'm not sure, right now, that's all the business we have in front of us. Thank you all again. And with that, we stand adjourned.
See you in the funny papers.